welcome back to Food Prep Guide. If you've noticed that the weather has been getting stranger and more extreme every year, longer dry spells, surprise frost events that come out of nowhere, and summers that feel like you're gardening on the surface of the sun, then this video is for you. Now, I'm not here to debate why any of this is happening. What I do want to talk about is what we can do about it in our gardens without spending a ton of money. Because no matter what's going on up there in the atmosphere and why, we still have seeds to plant and mouths to feed. So today I'm going over 3 low-cost ways to protect your garden from the kind of extreme weather that's been making all of our lives as gardeners harder lately. Let's jump right in. So challenge number 1 that we'll address is drought. If you're anything like me, you've historically been a rain-dependent gardener. I know I have. I used to get by with watering my garden deeply once a week, and for a long time I could get away with that. But as the dry stretches have gotten longer and more intense, relying on rain just isn't cutting it anymore. Now, I tried drip irrigation. I had a whole setup in 2024, and honestly, I'm not in love with it. In fact, I rarely ever used it, so I can't really say I have a ton of experience with it because I set it up, never really used it. It's very possible that that's a me problem and user error, so I'm going to keep on learning before I bring you a full video on that. But what I have found that I'm absolutely in love with is a sprinkler hose. Now, this isn't to be confused with a soaker hose. Those are two very different things. A soaker hose weeps water directly into the soil along its full length. A sprinkler hose has these tiny holes that spray water out at a slight angle on 2 sides. You can see it's solid on one side and striped on the other. The water comes out along that striped side. The streams are small, almost like a mist. It reminds me of the produce section at the grocery store where they spray that fine mist over the lettuce to keep it cool and fresh. That's essentially what you get. Now, why do I love this so much? Well, first, the setup is ridiculously simple. You literally unroll it and connect it to a standard garden hose. No special fittings or installing irrigation lines. If you can hook up a garden hose, you can use a sprinkler hose. Second is the cost. Compared to a full-blown irrigation setup, these are very affordable. I'll link the one that I use in the description box. Now, I've tested 3 different ways to set this up, and I want to walk you through what I found. Method number 1 is just laying it flat on the soil. The product listing actually suggests doing this with the striped side facing down, letting it soak into the soil from below. I tried that. The problem I ran into was uneven moisture distribution. The center of my raised beds were getting oversaturated while the outer edges were staying pretty dry, so that's not ideal. Now, method number 2 was clipping it to the hoops that you see here straight down the center. This was a big improvement on method number 1, much more even moisture coverage across the whole bed. The issue I kept running into was keeping the hose from sliding off the hoops. So every time I would come to check on it, the hose had slipped and therefore, where it was watering was changed as well. If you can find a solid way to clip or secure it, this is probably the best overall method because you get good coverage without any water being accidentally sprayed outside the bed. Now, method number 3 is stringing it up higher using strings tied to some sort of structure. I know this won't work for everybody, but this is what I ended up doing because I already had the structure there thanks to my cattle panel trellises. And the moisture distribution was excellent, very even, very consistent. My carrot bed in particular really loved this because carrots need consistent moisture to germinate and all throughout their growing season, and the sprinkler hose just made that so much easier to maintain. I really wish I had found it sooner. Okay, so that covers drought. Now let's talk about the 2 other challenges, surprise frost events and extreme heat. I'm going to share my setup where the same infrastructure handles both cases. By the way, if you want to scale up your gardening efforts this year and grow more of your family's food, we have a free Staples Garden printable that breaks down exactly what and how much to plant for a year's worth of food for common storage crops. That link is in the description, or comment Staples Garden, and I'll reply to your comment with the link directly. Okay, I'm going to show you how to build a super simple hoop frame over your raised beds or rows that's very cheap and takes just a few minutes to set up per bed. So here's what you need. Rebar. Short sections of rebar that are about 12 inches long, and poly tubing. This is the black flexible irrigation tubing that you would typically use as a main line for your drip irrigation setup. It bends easily and holds its shape. You can get a pretty big roll of it for less than 20 bucks. What you're going to do is take 2 pieces of rebar and push them into the ground. You can do it inside your raised bed. You can do it in the holes of cinder blocks or concrete blocks if you're using those. By the way, that's one reason I absolutely love this style bed. It's got like a built-in system for structure, or built-in holes for structure. but you'll place them on opposite sides of your row or raised bed, keeping them parallel to each other. Space these pairs every 2 feet down the length of your row or bed. Push them in just a few inches. You don't need them deep, just stable enough to hold the tubing. They really don't have to bear any weight. Now take your poly tubing, cut it to the right length to arc across your bed, and slide each end over a piece of rebar, one end on each side. The tubing is flexible, so it naturally is going to form that upside down U shape, like a hoop. So just work your way down your bed or your row, and you'll have a tunnel frame in no time. This frame is completely reusable. You can pull it apart, you can store it during winter, and set it back up in minutes. So now let's talk about different ways to maximize your new hoop frame. So when a surprise freeze or cold snap is heading your way, and lately those come seemingly out of nowhere, all you need to do is drape frost cloth or row cover fabric over the hoop frame. Frost cloth, if you don't know, is a lightweight, breathable fabric that traps warmth around your plants, but more importantly, it prevents freezing dew from settling on the leaves. Depending on the weight that you choose, it comes in different weights. It can protect all the way down to the teens in Fahrenheit. So just drape it over, pin or clip the edges down. You can use bricks to hold them down, or clothespins or anything like that, just so the wind doesn't blow it off, and your plants will be protected. This is generally one of the cheapest insurance policies you can have for your garden. A roll of frost cloth is very affordable and reusable season after season. Okay, now let's flip the scenario. Instead of a freeze, you're dealing with a stretch of brutal heat. We're talking days or weeks in the upper 90s to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, with intense sun that can scorch leaves and dry out beds very fast. We'll use the same hoop frame, but a different cover. So just swap out your frost cloth for shade cloth. Shade cloth is a woven mesh material that filters out a percentage of sunlight. You'll see it rated as 30%, 40%, 50% shade, and so on. For most vegetables, you don't want to go more than 30% shade cloth. It's a good starting point. I'll have one linked in the description box below. Crops like lettuce, spinach, and other greens that bolt quickly in the heat benefit a lot from shade cloth. Even tomatoes and peppers, which love the heat and love the sunlight, can struggle when temperatures get extreme and the UV is intense, especially tomatoes. Shade cloth can keep the soil and the air around the plants just a few degrees cooler, which makes a real difference in yield and in keeping the plants from dropping their flowers. That's the real problem that I've seen, is dropping the flowers, no fruit. So you just drape it over the same hoop frame, secure the edges again, and you have given your garden a fighting chance against that summer heat. So to recap the 3 low-cost solutions, I recommend, number 1, a sprinkler hose for drought. Very easy to set up, affordable, no irrigation system needed. Just hook it up to a garden hose. Number 2, rebar plus poly tubing hoop frames. Set these up once and reuse them season after season. Number 3, frost cloth over the hoops when freeze threatens, and shade cloth over those same hoops when extreme heat and sun hit. None of these break the bank, and you may even have some of the materials lying around your property already. Okay, friends, that's all for today. I hope that was helpful. We will see you next time. Bye.